we're still, well, we're going to be assembling it next week. And in the meantime, you remember this bunch of magnets I got that were the wrong size? Obviously I hadn't modelled anything for these, so I thought, well, maybe I can make some use out of them. These are actually very weak magnets. They're actually N32s or something ridiculous. They're not 52s, they're very weak as well. They're not strong, which is why I needed, when I needed the bigger 20mm by 5mm by 3mm, and the ones that they sent me. Do you remember I got a refund on that? Well, just to show you the comparison between the two, I don't know if I can show you this without having a crash. I'm trying to. Right, so the big ones are on top, and these little ones are the ones that I ended up getting, which were the wrong ones, and I got a refund on them, so a partial refund anyway. So you can see the difference. There was no way I was going to use them little ones for the main drive system, but I thought maybe I can use them for something. So what I did was, let me just get rid of them a minute. So I modelled up a secondary inner drive system, which are these little ones that go inside, and the segment goes in between the two. So these are additions which I can add on to the segment rotor to sandwich the rotation, sorry, to go between the segments, the main segments, which sorry, what do you call it, these things? I forgot what you call them now. I gave them a name and now I can't remember. These go on my concentrics anyway. So I've got a washer on there. That's just to hold it apart because it was curling a bit. Once I get the steel backing on there, there's a magnet stuck on the back right now, but that's just temporary. I've got to grind these pins down because I have to get it flat, and I've got to basically leave that for a few days. As I said before, I'm leaving the rotor stuck to the fridge for about a week, so these need to be left for about the same amount of time because there's a lot of, I want that plastic to dry out. Now the other thing as well, the other thing is these look a bit ugly at the moment because of all the plastic glue I stuck on them, but I've impregnated I put the steel pins inside here, and the plastic obviously was melted glue. So when that dries out, I've got to grind these faces flat so all the pins shine through and, well, show through. And then I've got to sandpaper and use my knife to trim off this extra glue that leaked out. So I've got to trim that off because these go in the concentrics. So I've got to grind these faces, obviously, and make them look pretty again because they look a bit, yeah, because the glue was messy, it stuck to my hands and it ended up squirting around the edges. So I've got 3 of them on there, all done. I have to leave them for about 6 days to dry thoroughly before I can attempt to put them in the concentric, which, you know, like this, same as this one. So it's before they go inside these holes. What are the other ones? So I thought, well, I might as well show you this addition. So what I'm doing is, with these extra additions, we put them little weak thin magnets in the slots, right, and these just basically glue directly onto the rotor disc with my plastic glue, and these little legs that stick out, those are the spacers. I suppose I can show you just a minute. These that line up, sorry it's a bit dark in here, I put light on. Where's my disc? Right, so the way they go is that these things will, have I got the right one? Yeah. These things will sit if you look, there's a little thing, hole, slot, and that sits on that bead, plastic bead, that centres it. And these will sit directly on there. They will be glued onto the rotor, the segment rotor, and these will be the inners, the inner magnet arrays, which once they're glued in place, they'll be permanently attached. And I need to make sure I get a spacing right, so I'll put these legs on to maintain that space. But I'm acetone treated these, so they'll shrink a bit, so I'll probably have to stick a little bit of something between the legs and the things. You'll see how they couple up there. So they will sit directly on there, and the segments will obviously go in these holes here. The main segments go in these holes where the magnets are clamping this thing to the fridge right now. So and obviously I've got 3. Now that will increase the amount of torque that we get, so we should get an extra few hamster power. Everyone's probably thinking, what the hell am I talking about, hamster power? Well, you know, when people talk about engines, they talk about horsepower. Well, this thing's not horsepower, it's hamster power, right? So yeah, I can't really say it's 1/10 of a horsepower or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a 50th of a horsepower. I mean, the mind boggles. So I'm just using the terminology. It's kind of funny anyway, isn't it? It's fun. So I'm referring to hamsters because, let's face it, hamsters, generally speaking, they're not very strong, are they? I don't know. I've never actually owned a hamster, but anyway. So I made that one. So I've got to put the magnets in this one. I've got to get the poles right so that these, because when these are actually up against the segments, they're actually the other way. I've got to get them right way around. They're actually facing that way. Oops. Well, it's flipping around, but they're actually facing like that, basically. Like that sort of thing. I keep forgetting I'm holding the camera. Now, and when the actual coupling, I'll move it away because it keeps jumping, it'll fly, look, it falls over. So when the couplers, that's these things, can't get it off the bridge, I might have to fry it, hang on, come on, stuck on there with the magnets. So when these, get rid of the washer, I'll just take the magnet off a minute because it's take that magnet off. Get this right way around. Right around. So when these are actually on the concentrics, right, these are mounted on, this will pass through, the segments pass through this arch, and this arch, and this is on the inside, right? So I can't hold it because the magnet's pushing this way actually right now because it's not biased. So this will move through between them. Anyway, you know what I mean. Now, in the actual model, in the actual, just a minute, get this out of the way. Hang on a minute. In the actual model, let's go to the, I'll show you on here, it's a lot easier to see on here. Right, you'll see, oops, I've gone too close. You can see how it's sandwiched there between the two, and there's a gap of about, what, 2 millimeters or something like that. And the disc, let's just, I'm holding my phone right now, so edit group, let's just try and rotate, animate this or something. I think I've got the right one. Let's go to rotate. It's easy to do it in the SketchUp model because I'm not playing, I haven't got any actual magnets. Obviously it's a 3D model, so get this lined up right. Right, there we go. Let's try and animate this a bit. Shit, my line's in the wrong place. Right, you get the idea anyway. So we can see it. Oh, I can't do it when it's at the wrong pitch. Right, there we go. You can see how it will move through there. Sort of. It's hard to see on here. Come on, stupid thing. I can't get the axis. If I zoom in, I can't move it far enough. I'll try it going around the other side. That's better. Right, you can see roughly. Hot's trying to zoom in, but I can't zoom. Let me try zooming in. Try and do that. You can get an idea. Oops. Yeah, sort of thing. Anyway, so anyway, I suppose better. Just a minute. Just get this zoom off, turned off a minute. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. I decided to make these extra ones because then I can mount them on when I'm ready, because they just glue on. But basically the printing's finished. I have printed all the parts. Oh, I didn't show you, did I? But everything's on the side of the fridge right now. It's all drying. I've got the put the light back on again. So I've got the brackets in here. These are the stands. I've got the end bearing caps there. Well, I think we've got all the parts. So everything's just sitting there now, drying, because the acetone has to off gas, and I don't want it warping on me. So as soon as that's sorted, I want to put this thing together. We can have a test next week sometime, probably Wednesday or Thursday or something. I'll probably leave it till the weekend or something like that, I don't know. So that's it for now. I just wanted to show you where we're at. So I'm just carry on doing these, and obviously I've still got to do the cores, which I showed you, which are a bit gluey and messy at the moment, which once they're cleaned up I can insert them into the concentrics and yeah, get that ready. So I've got plenty of things to do for in the meantime. Right, bye for now.